April 1944, the city of Heraklion, Crete. On the road to Arcanas, not far from the German headquarters, two British officers and a few Cretan partisans are hiding, waiting for General Heinrich Kreipe, German military commander of Crete. They plan to abduct him. When Kreipe's car appears around the curve, the British, in German uniforms, stop him.
Papiere bitte. Ich bin General Kreipe.
A second later, Kreipe is a prisoner of war, and the unique story of courage begins. Some partisans run off the vineyards. The others force the general into his car and pass a number of German controls before disappearing down the mountain road running to Heraklion. After an 18-day walk through snow and sleet along the dangerous paths that crisscross Mount Ida, the partisans reach the southern coast of Crete, where a boat is waiting to take them to Cairo. Operation Apagoi is completed.
The moment the car slowed down, we dressed up as German corporals. I went to the left-hand door, opened it, seized the general. No, I didn't seize the general once. I saw who he was by his medals and asked him for his papers. And he said, "I'm General Kreipe." And I caught hold of him, pulled him out, and the other boys immediately took care of him, tied him up, and put him in the back of the car. Meanwhile, my second in command, Captain Moss, had opened the other door, hit the driver on the head, taken him out, jumped into the driver's seat, and then I immediately jumped in beside him where the general had been sitting, wearing the general's hat, which had fallen off in the road. And all the other boys, Saviorakis, Patirakis, Tirakis, jumped in, and off we went. And we only did it just in the nick of time, because it took just about a minute, and the moment we moved off, a whole stream of German cars, German troop-carrying cars full of German soldiers passed by, so we did it just in the nick of time. The point of the operation was to inflict a tremendous insult against the German prestige in Crete. Because the Germans have been tormenting Crete for the last 2 years. They've been killing and burning villages. The most appalling tyranny prevailed in Crete. And to destroy their morale and to bolster our own and show that at least we could do something in the resistance against the Germans. So we decided on capturing the commander of the island. That's how the whole thing started. After the operation, I think our results were obtained. And I think the German morale went down distinctly. Everywhere one heard disappointment, defeatism among the Germans, and of course among us, the Cretans, because I considered myself a Cretan by then. Our morale shot up about 1,000 miles in the air, and optimism reigned through the whole of Crete in spite of all the terrible things that happened afterwards. The morale was extremely high, and I think we can consider that the object of the operation was achieved. When we set off with the general finally in the mountains, after Noia, we went right up onto the top of Mount Ida, and we went through terrible hardships, because the whole of the German garrison, the whole of Crete, was out all round Mount Ida, all round Heraklion, everywhere, thousands of them. And so what we had to do was to hide in caves by day and move very, very carefully at night, and sending messages forward to find out whether it was free, the areas we planned to go through, and then moving on, sometimes with a mule for the general, sometimes on foot, with snow and rain and very, very steep mountains. And the general fell down occasionally. At one time, the saddle broke and he fell down again. We went from village to village, never into the villages, hiding outside the villages, and the villagers all looked after us, fed us, sent guards forward, and by the time we reached the coast of Erektin, Rodakina, hundreds of Cretans knew exactly where we were, but not one of them betrayed us.